Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the Book of Boba Fett. So the Book of Boba Fett is a spin-off to The Mandalorian, and it follows Boba Fett and Fennec Shand as they try to make a name for themselves in the galaxy's criminal underworld after taking over the territory once controlled by Jabba the Hutt. Now, if you've seen my Mandalorian reviews, you'll know that I'm really enjoying that show so far. I think the first two seasons are great. So when the Book of Boba Fett was teased at the end of Season 2, I was genuinely excited. You know, on top of Boba Fett just returning to the Star Wars universe after all these years, the idea of having an entire show centered around him sounded perfect. He's getting his own show, written by Jon Favreau, and Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Robert Rodriguez are all returning to direct? Sign me up. Needless to say, I was somewhat disappointed! Yeah, I wanted to enjoy this, guys. And I know some people do, some people don't. It's getting a very mixed response from fans, but it's not flat out terrible. It's just that there are aspects of it that I found to be rather questionable. There's also going to be a spoiler section where I delve into the last 3 episodes. So if you want to avoid spoilers, this is the spoiler section from this time to that time. So let's get into it. So first of all, the attention to detail is spot on. The production values, the visual effects, the cinematography, the music, and even the show's theme music. I absolutely love it. The show also does a good job of maintaining the space western vibe and aesthetic of The Mandalorian. There's something for everyone in terms of action. You know, there's chases, there's a train sequence, there's plenty of hand-to-hand combat, so yeah, you'll love that stuff. I know a lot of people don't like the speed chase with the cyborg gang. You know, it felt like something out of a Power Rangers episode. And I'll admit, it is rather slow for a speed chase, but it was fun. And Robert Rodriguez did a great job directing that episode. The acting is fantastic as always, especially from Tamura Morrison, who plays Boba Fett. If it wasn't for him, I think this show would have been terrible. And of course, there's an already iconic meme that I'm sure everybody has heard of by this point. You know, like a Bantha.
Like a Bantha. Yes.
And you know, Star Wars and meme culture go together really well, like salt and pepper. So this is definitely something to remember the show by, even if you don't like it. The show also starts off with a non-linear structure for the first couple of episodes, in which every time Boba Fett needs to heal in his bacta tank, we get flashbacks fleshing out what he was up to prior to the events of The Mandalorian. Plus, if you've ever wanted to find out how he escaped the Sarlacc pit from Return of the Jedi, well, just tune into this show to find out. It's also a shame because I'm sure there are many longtime Star Wars fans who probably never lived to see this moment, as well as
like a Bantha.
So yeah, rest in peace to them. And now, this is your final warning for the spoiler section. So I'm giving you a few seconds to skip to this time on the screen. Okay, so if you're here, I'm assuming you've watched the entire show. And that being said, the last 3 episodes, they were cool. I really enjoyed them. Episodes 5 and 6 are being well received, but the same can't be said for the finale. But I am mixed on some aspects of these episodes. First of all, episode 5, literally titled Return of the Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal comes back to play Din Djarin, aka Mando, and it was nice to catch up with Mando. We also get an appearance from the Armorer, played by Emily Swallow, and it's clear that Mando isn't quite done with Grogu yet. So of course, in the next episode, he goes to find Grogu. And there we get appearances from Grogu, Ahsoka, and of course the big one, Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was played by a stand-in, and he was voiced, believe it or not, by a computer. His CGI looks much better than it did the first time around at the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and we get scenes between him and Grogu that mirror Luke's training with Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back. And let's not forget, at the beginning and end of the episode, we got to see Cobb Vanth once again, played by Timothy Olyphant. And at the very end, the first live-action on-screen appearance from Cad Bane. Now, Cad Bane was originally from the Clone Wars animated series, which I didn't watch growing up, but I am familiar with the character to some extent. And then there's the finale. The finale definitely surprised me. However, I see why most people don't seem to like it, and it's largely due to the fact that it tried to pay off every single setup throughout the season in just 1 hour. It felt bloated, it felt rushed, and I get that this show is very, very expensive, but maybe it could have used a few more episodes. And the whole death of Cad Bane thing. It's debatable on whether or not he's actually dead or alive. Maybe he's alive and maybe they're saving him for season 3 of The Mandalorian. I hope that's the case because I am interested in seeing more of him. If they kill him off now, it would be a wasted opportunity. Some people felt that Mando was stealing the spotlight from Boba a little bit, but it was great to see them together and I think they were utilized equally. So overall, I enjoyed the finale and it just felt like the icing on a somewhat underbaked cake. So I do have quite a few issues with the Book of Boba Fett. The first one being the rather paper-thin story. Things are set up nicely in the first 1 or 2 episodes, and then things kind of go nowhere after that, and the only time it really starts to pick up is in the last 2 episodes. There were only 7 episodes in total, and even then it still felt like not a whole lot really happened. Also, in the first 4 episodes, the story structure started to get repetitive. Parts take place in the present, while huge chunks of those episodes take place in the past via flashbacks. They only do this for 4 episodes, but that's half the season. So still, it got tiresome after a while. And Boba Fett himself is kind of a softie in his own show. I get that they probably wanted to showcase a more human side to the character, and for the first couple of episodes, especially in the flashbacks, they did that really well. But afterwards, they went a bit too far with that. You know, he's almost nothing like the badass he was in any other Star Wars media. Not even in season 2 of The Mandalorian, when he came back for that, and we saw what he did. And when they announced that they were making this show, I thought to myself, wow, imagine a whole show of that. And we didn't really get that. And lastly, I think the biggest mistake that Disney made with this show was in its marketing. We were all under the impression that this would be a separate spin-off from The Mandalorian focusing on Boba Fett on his own adventures. But honestly, it felt like it was trying to be too many things at once, and within just 7 episodes. A Mandalorian spin-off taking place immediately after Season 2. A Mandalorian prequel of sorts taking place prior to Season 1, and probably during Season 1 as well. And because several characters from The Mandalorian return in this, it also feels like it's trying to be a bridge between Seasons 2 and the upcoming Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I mean, in episodes 5 and 6, Boba Fett's kind of in the background in his own show. The finale makes up for this, but still. In a show that's only 7 episodes, it feels weird. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Book of Boba Fett. If they ever make a follow-up season, they need to improve in some areas. They need to make Boba Fett more badass. They need to focus more on him, given that the show is named after him. There should be no more flashbacks from this point onwards, and it could use a better story. So next time, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. For the first time in almost a year, I'm going to be reviewing music again. And this time, I'm going to be doing a retrospective on The Crystal Method, one of my favorite electronic music acts. It'll be a very short video covering the first 6 albums. The 7th one just recently dropped on February 11th, but I can't seem to find it anywhere for some reason, so yeah, we'll see what happens there because I really want to hear it. So look forward to that soon. And yeah, thank you all for watching, guys. Please be sure to
Like a Bantha.
Share it.
Like a Bantha.
And subscribe.
Like a Bantha.
Hit the notification icon.
Like a Bantha.
Be
Like a Bantha.
during this time, and I'll see you soon.
like a Bantha. Yes?